Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda. If you are new here, if you're not new, welcome back. For today, I'm going to show you a traditional kimchi recipe. So I'm going to show you how to make kimchi. It's going to be pretty simple. It sounds intimidating, but it's really not, because we're only going to be using 3 pounds of Napa cabbage. So that is what the base of kimchi is Napa cabbage. Typically they make up to 11 pounds of kimchi. Sometimes on most YouTube recipes it's a lot, but this one's going to be pretty simple. So I'm going to show you everything that you need, and we're going to do it step by step together. So we got your 3 pounds of Napa cabbage. You'll need a Korean radish. You can find this at most all Asian stores have them. We're probably going to use about 1/4 of this cabbage. Pretty much you're going to need about 1 cup. You will need some green onions and Korean chives. So you can see the difference in the green onion. The Korean chives just look more like grass. But again, most Asian stores have this. If they do not, don't worry, you don't really need it. It just adds a little bit of extra greenery, and it's good. But if you don't have it, it's okay. You'll need 1 whole white onion or yellow onion. And you'll need some garlic. Lots of garlic. This peeled garlic I got from the Asian market. And you'll need ginger. You can use fresh ginger. I would not use powder. I would either get ginger paste or fresh ginger. So I have some ginger paste I'm going to be using. And then for these sauces and seasonings, you are going to need some chicken broth. Just a can of chicken broth. You'll need red pepper powder, glucose rice flour. You could use rice flour or regular flour, but if you can find the glucose rice flour, that's what I highly recommend. You'll need some brown sugar. I'm using light brown sugar. Some sesame seeds, some salt. This is some sea salt in a bag. And then for the traditional part of kimchi, this is what makes it traditional and very good and tastes like the real thing, is you'll need some pickled shrimp and fish sauce. If you wanted to make this vegetarian kimchi, just eliminate these 2 things. That is all, and it will still taste just as good. I actually like vegetarian kimchi, but I love traditional. But if you are vegetarian, just eliminate that. You'll need something to store it in. This is actually a kimchi jar that I just cleaned and washed, so I'll be storing my kimchi in this. And then you'll need a big bowl to mix everything in and let the cabbage soak. You don't have to have a steel bowl. You can use a plastic bowl or whatever you have on hand. But this is the one I'm going to be using. And then you will also need a food processor. Alright guys, that is all you need. So I'm going to go ahead and start showing you how to make the traditional kimchi. Alright guys, here is our Napa cabbage. I'm going to go ahead and just cut it down the middle. Oh yeah, very pretty. And then cut it one more time into like a wedge. So it should look like that. Pieces will fall off like this. That's okay. Just set those to the side because you're going to just chop those up anyways. Next, I am going to just go ahead and cut off this part of the cabbage. So just chop that off. And then we're going to go ahead and cut our cabbage. And it's okay to do some different sizes. They don't all have to be the same. And place it into your bowl. Alright, we have the cabbage here in the sink. We are going to do 1 cup of water into the bowl. Go ahead and add 1 cup of water. And 6 tablespoons of salt. I'm using some sea salt. You're going to add 6 tablespoons. And you will be washing this, so don't worry. You're not going to actually be ingesting 6 tablespoons of salt, but this is part of the fermentation. This is exactly, in this bag was exactly 6 tablespoons. Just going to pour that in there. Alright, now just kind of toss this and massage the salt in with the cabbage. You're going to keep continuing tossing this every 30 minutes for 2 hours. So we're going to let this cabbage rest for 2 hours, tossing the cabbage every 30 minutes or so. Alright, we have 6 green onions. We are going to take the ends off of these 6, and then we are going to cut our green onions and our Asian garlic chives. And I did cut these at a slight angle. About that much. Cut your ends pretty thin and small. I'd say that was about 1 cup of the chives added to the bowl. And then we're going to do our radish. So for the radish, you're just going to cut into thin circles first. So like thin little circles. Just be careful of your fingers. Okay, and then you're going to cut them in little sticks. So they should look something like this, just like thin little sticks. Right. Next, we're going to make our onion and garlic ginger paste. You are going to need 9 garlic cloves. 1 onion you're going to cut into 4 chunks. Add your onions to your food processor. 9 garlic cloves. And we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of ginger. Alright, we have it here in a food processor, and now I'm just going to go ahead and process this. Alright, and it is done once it looks something like this texture. And you're just going to want to set that to the side. 30 minutes has passed, and you can already tell it's getting very wilted and softer, to the point where you can even peel the cabbage. So just keep tossing it with that little bit of water and salt. We're going to go ahead and add 1 1/3 cup of chicken broth to a saucepan. There's 1 cup and 1/3 cup. We're going to turn this on medium-high heat and go ahead and add your glutenous rice flour to the pot. We're going to do 2 tablespoons. And then you're just going to stir this mixture for 2 to 3 minutes. And once it starts kind of getting into the texture we want, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of the brown sugar. And we're going to keep stirring it for another 2 to 3 minutes until it's like translucent. And then we're going to remove it from the heat and let it cool. See, once it starts getting to this texture, you're going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. And then you're going to let this continue to simmer for 2 to 3 minutes. And kind of just get those chunks of flour out. Just kind of smear those down and keep mixing it. Okay, so I added 2 tablespoons of the pickled shrimp into this container. I know it looks a little not appealing. And I am going to take some scissors and chop it up even finer than it already is. I just prefer it to be super, super fine and minced. Alright, this should be about our last toss. And it is done. So it has been 2 hours later. I'm going to give it a little toss. It is softened up, as you can see. Super easy to peel. That's what we want. It will still have some firmness, but overall it's going to be very soft. Now we're going to turn some water on. And this is where you're going to rinse your cabbage. We are going to rinse it quite a bit. So I have this little strainer and I'm just going to add some cabbage. Rinse it through and I'm going to add it into this plastic bowl over here. We're going to do this about 4 times. So go ahead and just do this first with the strainer, and then we're going to put all the cabbage into this plastic bowl and then rinse that really well. Fill it up with water, rinse it really good, and then repeat this. Here is that mixture of chicken broth in the flour. This is what it should look like, pretty thick. Now we're going to make the kimchi paste. We're going to add 1 cup of red pepper powder. So just pour that right in. And if you don't like it as spicy, feel free to not add as much. You don't have to. You could do 1/4 or 1/2 cup. Alright, to the veggies that we have here, we're going to go ahead and add the onion, garlic, and ginger puree. Add that right in there. Add your 2 tablespoons of your pickled shrimp. And 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. Go ahead and just mix that all together. Alright, here is the cabbage. You're just going to add that mixture right into there. Make sure you get everything. Last, you're going to add your pepper paste. Alright, and now you're just going to mix it all together. Don't be shy. Just toss everything in that red paste. Alright guys, next I'm going to go ahead and store it in this jar. So I'm going to just add all of it into this jar. Oops. Alright guys, there is the beauty. This is what it looks like. Just place that lid on. So I did make a little bowl. I'm going to have some with some rice. I am going to just try it. You'll be able to kind of tell the flavor, and if it turned out good, you don't have to let it sit. You can try it right away if you want. Perfect. So I'm going to let this sit in the fridge. You can wait 2 weeks. And ferment this in the fridge for 2 weeks. That will be very sour. In 2 weeks, if you like sour kimchi, then you might want to wait the 2 weeks. If you just like it a little bit fermented, a little bit of sour, you can wait up to 3 days, up to a week. It really just depends on your preference. I will get into this probably tomorrow, have a little bit tomorrow, and then I will wait a little bit so that I can get like it really sour and fermented. Usually the bottom is always the sourest. I'm going to go ahead and store this in the fridge. And I hope you guys try this recipe out. It honestly isn't that hard. It's pretty easy, and you get all this wonderful kimchi, and you can do so much with kimchi. You can make kimchi pancakes, you can have hot pot with kimchi, or you can just eat it as is with some rice, some seaweed. It's just like a Korean classic. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.
I've been missing your strawberry.